right? And the C person is like an engineer, right? They think of the nuts and bolts. And so those people down here, they tend not to become entrepreneurs, right? So I'm a little bit forgetting how I got on this tangent. If you're building your foundation, like I said, like I've got the John Wooden pyramid of success in my head, and because I think he encapsulates some basic concepts. So you got enthusiasm and you got hard work, okay? We talked about loyalty and cooperation. When I talk about cooperation, you have people with personalities, okay? So drivers, like I was talking about in the personality test, they don't always cooperate with people. They often are really successful and then they crash and burn. I mean, to be honest, like I gave the example of Donald Trump. He's crashed and burned multiple times because he probably is just running over people, okay? That's what drivers do. So if you have a more balanced personality, then you're gonna have that element of get action, take action, make things happen, but you're also gonna think about people, right? Because you gotta cooperate with people to succeed in life. Now, you could be successful completely on your own, but you're not gonna magnify your success. You're not gonna reach the heights you could if you had learned how to cooperate with people. So cooperation basically involves mutual respect. You know, if you're too high of a D type personality, right? You need to tone yourself down. You need to think more about people. You might have to spend some time to habitually think about people. Like find ways to bless people, find ways to give them gifts, a show of appreciation, those kinds of things. If you're so focused on the task and on the action, you're going to forget that these are people you're working with, right? Steve Jobs was like that. When you hear stories about Steve Jobs, he was just taskmaster, right? Elon Musk, people say these kinds of things. So having that, personality where cooperation is critical to your success, it's not only going to make you successful in whatever business venture you're in, but it's going to open up more opportunities because people see you as a cooperative person, a person who they could work with, okay? There's mutual respect, and so there becomes mutual blessing. So if we take where I'm going to jump ahead now. Where I'm at now, I have partners in different businesses and in different properties, okay? I can have those partnerships because people see me as a cooperative person, right? And I see them as cooperative people. I was mentioning earlier today, I've missed some great opportunities simply because I did not have a cooperative partner at that moment, right? There were people who maybe I could have partnered with, but I learned not to partner with people that are not cooperative, right? You need to think like a team, okay? So these building blocks, you can develop and nurture that kind of stuff when you're super young. Think of your team, your sports team, like it's literally building blocks for your future success, right? Or if you're in school and you're working on a project, like try to be that cooperative person. So those are critical pieces. So on this foundation of your pyramid of success, like I said, there's hard work, industriousness, learn the word, it's a great word, enthusiasm, loyalty, you got cooperation, and you got friendship. Friendship is where if you just brought it all together and people felt like they were friends working together in a business, like that's kind of like our business is like that, right? So we did it kind of organically, but I'm kind of analyzing it right now for you guys to see. I'm breaking apart the building blocks of how we've become successful. People see that our team is like family or friends. We're like friends, okay? And so those are parts of the building blocks of success, okay? So this first chunk, a lot of that I learned in my childhood and in my early adulthood, that and the pyramid of success kind of crystallizes what I experienced and could pull out of my early days of how I was building success, okay? So obviously there's pitfalls with friendships in business, and it's all back to character and differences of personalities, okay? But don't fear, you've heard bad stories or bad situations with partners or things like that. Don't fear that so much you throw the baby out with the bathwater. Mark Zuckerberg is not the billionaire he is today because of just himself. A lot of people had to cooperate and work together, okay? All right, so that's a huge chunk of success, okay? So once you've crystallize in your mind what success is. You define it for yourself. I gave you a definition, but you could come up with your own. And then you understand what's the moral character I need to build this pyramid of success on. Once you've crystallized that, then you can take the next steps. So it's like, in my journey, when I thought of success, it was more freedom than money when I was younger. And I'm thankful for that, because honestly, when you do have more money, you realize how freedom is really freedom of time, freedom to do what you want, or not being controlled by others. It's like, that is so valuable. Okay, so when you've built that foundation, then you're thinking, okay, to be successful, there's many different paths I could go down. In my journey, I thought that the success that I defined was not necessarily the highest amount of money. It was a balance between freedom and money. My idea of success was freedom and the money I needed to gain the freedom and to travel the world and to have great experiences around the world with people that I met and that I loved. So that took me on a journey where I went to many different countries, played rugby in New Zealand, surfed in Fiji, traveled all over like Israel and Egypt and all over Europe and Latin America, 40 different countries, Mongolia, Pakistan, a lot of places. At that time though, I was thinking of business as just, all I thought about was work to save money, to travel, and trying to arrange my life. So my life was really evolving around saving money, right? Working hard to make enough money that I could save money so I could travel, and working jobs that had the flexibility to travel, right? So that's success, but it's on a lower level than where I'm at now. I wasn't even thinking like an entrepreneur yet, because I didn't come from a family of background of entrepreneurs. I wasn't surrounded by entrepreneurs. And in a certain sense, I've looked at entrepreneurs as getting stuck in their shop or their business, or they had to run everything, so they never were able to go on vacation. So I didn't want to do that. So I had a wrong view of that. So that was the next level of success, and I went to 40 countries and I experienced all these great things, and I enjoyed life. But I made more money. I wasn't negative, but I wasn't like making tons of money, right? But I had a good amount of money to do the things I wanted. So that was success for me at that point in my life. And the experiences and the people I met, I was rich in experiences. I was rich in relationships and friendships. And when I look back on life, like right now, I look back on life, that was my favorite time in life. And so what it reminds me, because this is I had some kids when I was doing that, but like, let's say this is pre-kids, right? Pre-marriage, pre-kids. But even when I had 2 kids, I still did quite a bit of that. Okay, now I have 5 kids. But at that time, I would say that I didn't need to make as much money to have the success that I saw I wanted to have in life. Okay, but then as you age and then you have kids, and one warning for you all out there: most kids are going to want to stay put. My kids don't like to travel as much as me. Like, I went to Portugal and I offered for anyone to come with me, and everyone said, I have school, I have work. They all are very studious and loyal to their work, which I appreciate. But I digress. The point is that at that phase of life, success was measured in that way. The maximum freedom, the travel, and the experiences. And I was rich in those things. And I still have many of those friendships to this day. But then the next phase of life, I married with kids, and I realized I gotta make more money to stay ahead. And so that's kind of where this journey really kicks into gear. And most of you probably, that was just all backdrop, and you're kind of like, yeah, I don't know. But it really is important, especially for my kids. It really is important. It's the foundation of what is going to help me launch in the next phase of my life. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But if you can just like this video, give me feedback. Might have been a little long-winded, but I'm trying to give you as much insight as possible. Please subscribe to the videos. I'll come up with better content, and we're going to get into a couple situations that are going to be more nuggets of how to grow as an entrepreneur.